This is a video of two projects, both located in Mutiara Damansara. One is a 25-story high-rise building and another is a basement excavation. What is work below lowest floor level? Work below lowest floor level consists of excavation for trenches, basements, and foundations. Work below lowest floor level can also include the construction of floor slabs, piling, and the removal of water if needed.
Excavation is the process of moving earth, rock, or other material with tools, equipment, or explosive. It includes earthwork, trenching, wall shaft, tunneling, and underground. Excavation has a number of important applications including exploration, environmental restoration, mining, and construction. Among these, construction is one of the most applications for excavation. Excavation is used in construction to create building foundation, reservoir, and roads. Some of the different processes used in excavation includes trenching, digging, and site development. Each of these processes require unique technique, tools, and machineries to get the job done right. The process used will depend upon the structure that will result from the construction process. Before the excavation process can begin, the site must be carefully examined to make sure that the natural habitats and artifacts surrounding it are preserved throughout excavation. Next, the plan for the size and depth of this site are made and the excavation company makes drawings from them to clearly mark the excavation site boundaries. Once these two important steps has been taken, the construction work can begin. The entire excavation process includes setting up corner benchmark, surveying ground and top level excavation to the approved depth, making up to the cut-off level, the construction of dewatering well and interconnecting trenches. Excavation construction is used during the construction process of almost every structure we encounter throughout our life.
When excavating through soft, weak, or unstable ground, the iron plate serves as a means. to increase the surface area of the ball pile machine. The iron plate acts as a platform for the ball pile machine to carry out works and prevent the machine to topple due to the heavy weight.
What are ball piles? Ball piling is a non-displacement form of foundation that involves boring a circular hole into the ground, installing steel reinforcement and filling the bore hole with concrete to form a pile. This method is able to excavate into soft or hard rock and also underground obstacles. The ball pile is a cast-in-place concrete pile, and the drilling method is depending on the condition of soil. So as piling contractor has to do soil investigation and decide which drilling technology has to be carried on. Construction sequence. First, set out the pile location in accordance with the engineer's working drawing using the theodolite. All setting out should refer to the reference point and the related contract drawings. In order to monitor the position of the steel casing, control pin will be established with two orthogonal positions offset from the center of the pile.
Insert auger bin for soil investigation. Soft soil requires the insertion of temporary casing, or also known as the cylinder.
The large diameter ball pile will be excavated by driving the temporary casing using the hydraulic oscillators. After setting up the casing oscillator over the pile location, the first section of the casing will be inserted into the oscillator. Its position and verticality will be checked prior to commencing excavation and regularly during excavation. The pile shaft excavation will be carried out using a rotary drilling rig or hammer grab supported from a crawler crane. The depth of pile shall be checked with sounding trend, and exact depth shall be recorded in pile report. Bentonite used to stabilize the side of bore. Cordon tests utilize the principle of ultrasonic wave travel from sensor to the wall of drill hole and reflect to the sensor through the bentonite slurry. Cordon equipment consists of two parts: recorder unit and winch unit.
Bentonite slurry is inserted into the pile shaft to create a solid protective barrier in the ground. Bentonite slurry is the mixture of volcanic ash and water. The clay will grow and expand when it wet. This expansion allows it to permeate cracks and crevices, to form a solid barrier and to keep contaminated water away from other environmental sources in an attempt to isolate the polluted waters. Codon test is then carried out to utilize the principle of ultrasonic wave travel from sensor to the wall of drill hole and reflect to the sensor through the bentonite slurry. Codon equipment consists of two parts, recorder unit and winch unit.
The reinforcement cage for the pile will be prefabricated on site in 12-meter lengths in accordance with the details shown on the drawings. The crane lifts up the steel cage and places it within the borehole. Concreting to the pile will be carried out underwater by trimine techniques, and the pipe will be placed initially on top of the base of the pile excavation. A conical hopper will be attached to the top of the trimine pipe. Concrete will then be introduced into the hopper of the trimine pipe. As the level of the concrete in the pile reaches a suitable level, the trimine pile will be withdrawn in section in such a way that minimum immersion of 2 meters of the trimine pipe into the concrete is maintained at all times.
As the concrete are being filled up, the bentonite slurry will be pushed up and pumped away for reuse. Sonic logging test is carried out by using a receiver and a transducer to determine the defect in the cast in situ pulps. This test is crucial to prevent incidents such as honeycombing due to inadequate vibration, segregation due to over vibration, and improper concrete placement method, washout of cement, cracks in the pile shaft, inclusion, necking, and arching of pile due to collapse of side walls during withdrawal of the temporary liners in the construction of ball piles. Compaction grafting is carried out, especially in soft soil, to densify the soils in order to increase the end-bearing capacity and decrease sediment potential. The steps are simple. Once the hole is drilled or casing is driven to bottom of proposed treatment zone, compaction grout is then pumped through the casing until one of several refusal criteria have been reached. The casing is then lifted to the next stage.
And lastly, the temporarily casing vibratory hammer extract from the ground. There are three types of ball pile in current use. The type of ball pile used on this site is the contiguous ball pile wall. Structural piles are installed at close spacings, typically with a 100 mm gap between piles, where the gap gathered to form a watertight retaining wall. A cap beam is also cast on top of all the ball piles to tie them together. To prevent cave-in, contiguous ball pile wall is used as temporary earth retaining wall during excavation and also can be used as a permanent basement wall of the building. It can avoid excessive excavation, assist in control of ground movement, and support ever taller structures that are being built in urban locations. The additional support, tieback and strut are used to prevent cave-in that caused by the excessive soil pressure and hydrostatic pressure. A tieback is a horizontal wire or rod or a helical anchor used to reinforce retaining walls for stability. The process of tieback installation are: first, position the installing equipment to make sure tieback anchor alignment maintained throughout the entire installation. Next, insert the lead helical tieback anchor into the drive head tool and secure. Position the anchor shaft point where the tieback anchor is to be installed. Then, install with required angle of 10 to 20 degrees from the horizontal. Installation rate is set in the range of 5 to 20 revolutions per minute. Next, secure bolt and nuts with extension with helix. Continue to install extension as required to reach the planned embedment depth. Lastly, assemble and preload to the log-off load as required.